Indie music, the genre that says, who needs a major label when you've got a garage and a dream? If mainstream music is the polished, well-behaved sibling, indie is the artsy one who shows up to dinner in mismatched socks in a vintage band tee. So what exactly is indie music? Let's dive into this eclectic world where authenticity reigns supreme. Picture this, the late 1970s and early 1980s. Punk rock has kicked down the door, and in its wake, a new wave of musicians decides to go rogue. They ditch the big record labels, opting instead for a DIY approach. In the UK, labels like Rough Trade and Factory Records champion this ethos, giving rise to bands like Joy Division and The Smiths. Across the ocean in the United States, a band called RE leads the charge, proving that jangly guitars and enigmatic lyrics can indeed find an audience. Defining indie music is like trying to nail jelly to a wall. It's delightfully slippery. At its core, indie is about independence, both in production and spirit. Musically, it borrows from a smorgasbord of genres, the raw energy of punk, the melodies of pop, the introspection of folk, and even the experimentation of electronic music. The result? A sound that's as diverse as the artist who created it. Indie isn't just a genre, it's a lifestyle. The fashion, think thrift store finds, vintage accessories, and a general I woke up like this vibe. The venues, intimate clubs, coffee houses, and any space that can fit a drum kit and a few amps. The goal? To connect with audiences on a personal level, far from the glitz and glamour of stadium shows. Indie music has given us a treasure trove of artists who march to the beat of their own drum machine. The Smiths, with Morrissey's melancholic croon and Johnny Marr's jangly guitar, became the poster children of indie in the 1980s. Fast forward to the Tweezers, and bands like Arcade Fire and Arctic Monkeys brought indie to new heights, blending introspective lyrics with infectious melodies. And let's not forget the solo acts. Elliott Smith's haunting ballads and Fiona Apple's raw, emotional performances have left indelible marks on the indie landscape. Indie music has done more than just fill our playlists. It's reshaped the music industry. By championing a DIY ethos, indie artists have challenged the dominance of major labels, proving that success doesn't require a corporate machine. This spirit of independence has influenced mainstream music, fashion, and even social values, fostering a culture that values individuality and critical thought. So what is indie music really? It started as a term to describe music released on independent record labels, artists avoiding the corporate machine and doing things their own way. But over time, it's evolved into a sound of its own. Indie now often conjures images of jangly guitars, lo-fi aesthetics, in an air of charming imperfection. And let's be real for a moment. While indie bands might posture as the champions of intimacy and authenticity, deep down, almost every artist dreams of selling out a stadium. They might scoff at the mainstream, but who doesn't want to hear their songs belted out by thousands of fans with smartphone flashlights swaying in the air? Sure, they might not admit it, but hey, that's rock and roll for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this deep dive into indie music, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more genre explorations, and remember, keep it indie, keep it real.